21.2 billion also for the total in terms of revenue and grants. So the law officers department, they can look at the appropriation bill, then see that it dey in accordance with the sections of the PFM Act, then put her in the format, then send her to government printing. Government printing now put her in a format for what we take now to go table in parliament. And the proposed dates for the submission of this wey not start current, or we say a farm for now the 18th of October, wey we don put as the preliminary date for the Minister of Finance for lay the budget or for read the budget na parliament for the first time, because also parliament is a process. Normally the minister dey read the budget na parliament 3 times. So the first one they go read am on the 18th. That's the preliminary date. If you look at with projections from the macro fiscal projections wey we get, we dey expect for get a budget support from the EU and as well as the World Bank. Of course, the World Bank for now is $65 million wey we don project inside the budget. But the IMF na discussions we dey on. They no firm to we as whether this year we'll get the budget support. But going forward to next year, certainly we know say we will get a budget support from them, and which can be the ECF program, when our extended credit facility wey dem give as a form of loan. But for now, the two institutions dem wey for say we don farm say we dey get budget support from, we get one from the World Bank of $65 million and EU, but EU one get for based on also additional performances we need for undertake before dem go able give you. So, both of them, World Bank and EU, both of them are grants. Because the National Development Plan, wey we dey align the budget to na a medium-term document. So we not expect every MDA for do everything we want for do from that development plan within the next 1 year or 2 years. So because the lifespan of the document should speak to the budget. So the budget also for speak to the National Development Plan. That is to say, wetin you want for achieve for 2025, make them realistic and push the orders for 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, and 2030 as per the National Development Plan. But if you say you want to bring everything to 1 year, the resources no go dey for undertake all of it. So that is why we get a medium-term expenditure framework. That is to say, do wetin dey for this particular year, enroll the other 2 years based on wetin are the resources wey things for go towards particular activities. Because the budget wey dey implement na activity-based budget. So that is why activities, you no go say in 1 year na you for complete am. You can phase them out. For example, the 7 district electrification project, the 6 towns water supply project. These are projects the way for say you no go complete into 1 year. So you phase them out. And that is why we dey do na the budget and always dey guide the MDAs and say, let them do the line in an MTF format. Wetin you go do next year, roll am to 2026, and the others will go to 2027. Well, not necessarily, because for let supplementary budgets come, you therefore get fundamental principles and way for lead for let you get a supplementary budget. The basis for which we dey prepare this 2025 budget no longer holds in 2025. For example, if the exchange rates depreciate further, then there is a need for supplementary budget. If inflation increase that much, then there is a need for supplementary budget, because these are macroeconomic fundamental tools or variables wey dey make for let you warrant you. Because when we talk about inflation, you talk about prices of goods and services dey go up, and most of those contracts the way the MDA dey therefore go into for let them execute the budget, the prices go don change, e go don suit up, and therefore the resources wey we don give at that time no longer sufficient for them for let them carry on. So therefore there is a need for supplementary budget. If there is also a continuous depreciation of the loans, and those contracts they will therefore pay them, and the CC will therefore go above the budget we don prepare and give to those MDAs in terms of the execution, then there is a need for supplementary budget. So if you then fundamental things that they not hold, then there is no need for supplementary budget. Like for example, this year 2024, we not get supplementary budget simply because the macroeconomic variables the way for don lead. Instead of we expect inflation for go up, now it don candle. Instead of we expect say depreciation of the loans will continue, it don't stabilize. So there is no need for supplementary budget, and that is why we are having it as it is. That we project for stay within the budget as it is for the rest of the year. We always get huge amounts from the big players. One of such institutions now the Ministry of Health, also the Ministry of Basic Education, You can see the Ministry of Agriculture will be the ask questions. Then domestic capital alone they go to up to 800 to 900 million United States dollars. So these are usual sums that they want for bring it to the budget where they above waiting really we put them as ceilings. But however, we introduce a new phenomenon this year, what we call the baseline budgeting. That let them count with the reality of the budget, where them be done, they always the grumble say, what will they give as ceiling? It's not a true reflection of waiting the one for do. So now we give them the chance, we give them the leverage, say, you go out there, cost all your activities then in line with what you think say you're able to do and bring account to it. And that is why you see some of them come with huge budget above the ceilings because we want for see am, we want for know wetin na the reality. And that's now one of the tools they for use now. Forget the bilateral discussion with them at the retreat. The total revenue for next year, what do we project? But that one also enough farm yet because we just get further discussion, like I said, with the IMF. We'll get 19 billion new loans and about 21.2 billion also for the total in terms of revenue and grants. And also we talk about 23.2 billion with regards to total expenditure. So you see that because the revenue and the grants, there's a gap. So we don't already get a financing gap. That financing gap now will be funded by borrowing also from partners then locally or internationally. But however, as I say, we will not get the farm figures them yet because we therefore get further discussions. Like we say, when we get the IMF, then normally they serve as a comfort for we later, like for comfort other development partners for come and see the need how for support value in delivering for the people of this country. So there's some possibility that even the grant figure with the project right now therefore go up. And when you go up, the total resource envelope will go up. So every other figures therefore change in terms of even the expenditure. Because if you get more revenue or more grant, you expect the expenditures also for go up because we want for achieve more. So that is why we are saying now we'll not farm the yet, but we get for farm there as time goes on.